Alright, good evening everyone. I'm gonna finish getting set up real quick. Let's see here. Got most of this stuff here already. Just give me 1 minute. Trying to get logged into my Twitter. I can share my feed on there tonight. Alright, but my name is Dan Whitfield. I got some updates for everyone tonight. We've had a pretty busy week actually. And I've got updates for our upcoming signature collection. Put strategy here on my list. Alright, let me find my live video so I can pull it up on my laptop. Make sure I can answer any questions coming in. So I'm going to give some updates, and then at the same time, I'm going to answer any questions anyone has. So while I'm going through all my updates, feel free to ask questions. I will get to them in a timely fashion. But I've got quite a bit to go through tonight. So this should be very informative and hopeful for this upcoming weekend. Alright, just 1 second. So yeah, just give me 1 more minute to get this all set up. I'm just trying to make sure I had my list all ready for my live stream. Had a pretty busy day. We got up about 5:15 this morning. Took a little while to get ready, and then we left the house right around, oh man, I guess it was about 7 o'clock this morning. All right. Move this over so you can see me a little better. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear me. If someone could just let me know if you can hear me, that would be awesome. Because I plugged my microphone in after I started the live video, so I'm not sure if it took it or not. You can hear me? Awesome. Cool. Thank you, Tracy. My video is frozen up here, but I assume we're all good. So give me just 1 second now. I'm going to get this link shared onto my Twitter feed. So something really cool happened on Twitter today. I grabbed the attention of someone who has a lot of followers. And I finally got my first viral Twitter post, which is really awesome. So I got more than, I think 2,000 followers today on Twitter in one day. Your URL. Alright, this should work to share it. Alright. So, my name is Dan Whitfield. I'm the independent candidate running for United States Senate here in Arkansas. Click this link, make sure it's running. I'm going to go ahead and give us some updates today, and we'll start with signature updates because that's what is coming up. So we are going to begin our signature collection on February 1st. It's going to be this Saturday. We are almost there. Awesome, and I think the link worked. Cool beans. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what the schedule is going to be, but as of right now, it's looking like on February 1st, on Saturday, I'm going to be in Eureka Springs at Brews doing a little, signature launch party. I've had so much support in Eureka Springs, and thank you, Mr. Jim, for helping get everything set up. And thank you, Mr. John, for allowing us to do it in your establishment. Let's see. So we're good on Twitter. All right. Mr. Matt. All right, so that's what's going to happen February 1st. Now, I have been mailing out signature petition sheets. Let's see. In 24 hours, I got 67 new volunteers to help collect signatures. Even if it's just their friends and family, that's amazing. 67 people. So I went ahead and I mailed out all 67 of those on Friday, the day before yesterday. So those ones should be arriving at anyone who had emailed me or messaged me or texted me or called and given me their address in the last week. You should be getting your folder here soon with those petition sheets. They are on legal size paper. And I've gotten 15 more people that have contacted me just in the last 2 days. And I'll be getting those mailed out tomorrow. And also, I still have a lot of volunteers in Northeast Arkansas, like my Batesville, Jonesboro area volunteers who I had already brought signature collection binders to. And I need to send you all a text message. I was going to do it tonight, but it's just getting too late. I'll text you all tomorrow and I'll get your mailing addresses, and I will make sure that anyone who I've been in contact with who's already volunteered, I'll get your address and get you some legal size petition sheets as well. So that's going to be for my Northeast Arkansas and Central Arkansas, like Little Rock, Jackson, North Little Rock, Texarkana, Hot Springs, Mount Ida, Mr. Frank, all of y'all. I'll get you guys set. Texarkana for Mr. Roger. My El Dorado, I think I've got like 3 or 4 volunteers in El Dorado now. I'll make sure that I get you guys some sheets as well, and then Hamburg too. So I've got a lot more sheets to mail out, and at any point, if you would like some signature collection sheets, you can either text me, you can email me, or let's see here, or you can just give me your address and I can get some sheets mailed out to you as well. So another thing to do, not everybody has access to legal size paper, but if you do have access to legal size paper, you can go onto replacetomcotton.com, and there's a tab that says signature collection. If you go to that tab, there's a PDF file. It's all pre-filled out and everything. You just have to print it and then sign it, have your friends and family sign it, and mail it to my P.O. box, which is listed on that link as well. So that helps a lot. It saves, me from having to spend donations for mailing and paper and materials. So if you can get some legal size petitions printed out and you would like to sign yourself or have your friends and family sign, that would be really appreciated. But I think that's pretty much it for signature collection. So it begins February 1st, which is going to be this Saturday, and we will have 89½ days to collect all the signatures. I have to obtain all the sheets and then verify them. So what I would like to do for that process is I would like to have everybody, as soon as you finish like one sheet, or if it's just you and your friends and family and you've got all you're going to get, send it to me as quick as possible. That way I can start verifying everything myself. If you finish 1 or 2 sheets and you plan on doing more sheets, then just send in what you have as soon as you can. I think it's like less than $1 to mail it in, so it's not that expensive. And that way I can keep up on verifications, because I have 10,000 I need to verify and I don't have a lot of time to do it. So by the latest is going to be, I want to say April 25th. If you can make sure any signatures you've collected before April 25th, get them mailed over to me. Or even April 20th, get them mailed over so I have them by April 25th. I have to have all of my signature sheets at the Capitol by 12 o'clock noon on May 1st. So it doesn't give me a lot of time. If you can get them to me by the 25th, then I can make sure I have everything that I can verified so that the GOP can't pull any shenanigans on us. So yeah, we start on Saturday, the 1st, and we have, I want to say like 85 days to get all these signatures. Now, what would be really cool is if we could turn in like 20,000 or 30,000 or 100,000. You know, if you're here in Arkansas and you just don't feel like you're being represented in the way that you should be in the legislative branch, just sign my petition. Even if you support Tom Cotton, if you think he's the greatest thing ever, part of our democracy is having a choice. We don't want him running, you know, like unopposed. We can't let those media headlines rule our democracy. So even if you do support Tom Cotton, please consider just printing out one of these sheets, giving it your signature, and mailing it in. Because that's not a vote for me, it's not support for me, it's just making sure that we can participate as Americans in the democratic process. So that would be really great, because I know there are a lot of Cotton supporters who do watch these videos, so please consider doing that. Let's see, so that's signature collection. Starting Saturday, ending April 25th, and I'll be mailing more out. If you would like me to mail you some, just let me know. Moving on, so my campaign store is up and going. If you go to replacetomcotton.com, there's a little tab that says store, and there's some different things that you can buy in our store. Any of the money that you spend on store products goes straight into our donation account. So, you know, this money is going to help our campaign, that we are a grassroots campaign, so all help is appreciated. Some of the things we have in our store are, these are car magnets. It's about 8.5 by 12, so about the size of a sheet of paper. It just says, you know, Dan Whitfield, Independent for U.S. Senate, Arkansas. ReplaceTomCotton.com on there. They're super stylish. All you have to do is just, you know, take a wet rag and a little bit of soap, clean an area on the back of your car. Just stick this guy right on. You can show your support. Your community can see me, see your support. And, you know, once the campaign's over, if you want to take it off, you just peel it right off. It doesn't leave a mark or anything. Very easy. It's super cool to use. The next thing I have some refrigerator magnets. You know, refrigerator magnets are awesome because everybody has stuff they want to hang on their fridge. I know we're always looking for more magnets and trying to fit 2 papers under 1 magnet kind of thing. So, you know, these are really cool little magnets. Feel free to purchase one of these. I have been trying to give some of them away for free. Like if someone purchases a bumper sticker, since the shipping's so expensive, I'll try to throw 1 or 2 of these in as well. But these are really cool, so don't overlook those, because we all have, well, a lot of us have kids and we all have stuff we want to hang on our fridge. The next things I have on there, I have some bumper stickers. So these are my original bumper stickers. I am running out of these. They're really cool. They look like the flag. We all love the flag. We all love America. Just Daniel Whitfield for Arkansas, United States Senate 2020. And this one actually has my real URL, the danwhitcongress.us. Just in case you haven't noticed, if you go to replacetomcotton.com, it forwards you to my website. It's just a lot more catchy and easier to remember, Replace Tom Cotton. So these ones are really cool. I have another bumper sticker. This is just Replace Tom Cotton, Dan Whitfield for Independent for U.S. Senate. That's a pretty cool one too. Those are really popular and I've been selling a lot of them. Dan Whitfield, U.S. Senate, Arkansas. This is really nice, especially if you have a red car or in contrast a blue car. Those are really cool. Got a nice little Arkansas-shaped flag on there. And these are my most popular ones. I need to get some more of these. I figured they wouldn't be as popular, but they're the most popular. Tom Cotton is bad for America. I mean, they're great. It's so true. It's not super derogatory. It's really nice. So if you like some of those, any of these stickers, they're all available for $5 a piece on my website. And then I guess the last thing I can show you on here. So I'm going to be doing some competitions where volunteers can compete to see who gets the most signatures. And every single week I'm going to have a different competition and there'll be prizes. So the first place prizes for signature competitions are going to be these super cool window decals. If I can get this thing open here. All right. So it is, you know, my logo is a window decal. I believe they're like 12 by 18 inches or something like that. They're perforated. They're super easy to use. You just wash your window, you peel it off of the backing here, and you just stick it on your car. Very cool to use. They look great. Before we had realized they changed the laws, I had already started a competition, and I honored it. Mr. Jim had gotten the most signatures. He filled 3 sheets of paper, I think in like 1 or 2 days. So I gave him one of these window decals, and he sent me a picture. They look amazing. They're very cool. So yeah, these ones are $25 a piece on my store, or if you would like to, you know, not spend money on them, you can try to get as many signatures as possible, and these will be the first prizes. All right. So that's pretty much everything that's on my store right now. Like I said, anything that you buy from the store goes straight into the donation account. It helps our campaign. We are a grassroots campaign. So, you know, we aren't taking money from billionaires. We're not taking money from special interests, fossil fuel money, anything like that. Our average donation, last I checked, was I think like $26 a donation. So we're very grassroots right now. So any little bit helps. But yeah, that's my store. I got some cool stuff in there. So make sure you check it out at replacetomcotton.com and then click the little tabs up top and hit store. So some other updates on here. We've got, let's see, our February schedule. My little scheduling planner is filling in quickly. Let me move this around real quick. There we go. So for February, what I have right now, I've got February 1st is going to be Eureka Springs at Brews. And we're just going to do like a signature collection kickoff little party, little meet and greet, get together. You know, come on by, bring your family, meet me, let me meet you. You know, I really appreciate all the support I'm getting. So many wonderful people have shown their support. So February 1st will be at Brews. February 8th will be in Little Rock. They're having a vaping conference. I support the vaping industry. There's some things I would like to do for our vaping, you know, business owners here in Arkansas. 90% of the vape shop revenue came from flavored juice. So when Philip Morris attacked the vaping industry because they were losing billions of dollars, they knew where to hit them the hardest. They made it illegal for them to sell flavored juice, which accounted for 90% of their revenue. We need to make sure that we roll that law back and we allow people to have flavored nicotine. It doesn't attract kids anymore. I believe from the last statistics I saw, there are no fewer children vaping than there were before. It hasn't changed anything. All it's done is hurt our vaping businesses, and you know, we need to do something about that. So that's going to be February 8th. I'll be in Little Rock. February 10th, I'm going to be in Russellville. I think I'll be at the courthouse speaking for a small group of people. Are you going to move this up? Sorry, just give me 1 second. You can't move that. It'll mess the gimbal up. All right. Keep that all set. Sorry about that. So February 8th, I will be at the Vaping Conference in Little Rock showing support for our local businesses. The 10th, I'll be in Russellville. And the 16th, February 16th, I'm going to be in Fayetteville at Nikki's house. Nikki is one of my volunteers. Been so amazing. Thank you so much, Nikki, for everything you've done. Happy birthday. It's going to be like a birthday signature, a meet and greet, Q&A, like a really cool party. So if anyone is in Fayetteville, you can get with me and I can, I'll keep it small for you, of course, Nikki. We'll, maybe have a couple extra spots and we can get you in there and have a great time and celebrate Nikki's birthday together. Then February 22nd, I'm going to be in Mountain Home. And I'll be speaking at a meeting in Mountain Home. So if you're in that area, you can let me know and maybe we can get together for like a coffee before, a coffee after, or something like that, just so you can ask any questions you may have and, we can do it that way. Are you okay, huh? Sorry, my wife's trying to get the camera all adjusted for me. Let's see here. So let me take a look real quick, make sure I don't have any questions coming in. I'm going to restart my video here. All right. So that's my February schedule. I still have, several spots open in my planner. If you want to, just talk to a few friends, get a meet and greet scheduled anywhere in Arkansas, just talk to your friends, make sure that they're available. and then give me a call, give me a text, ask if I'm available, and I can get you put into my book here. Because once you're in this book, I'm committed, and I'll make sure I can meet anyone that wants to meet. I know a lot of people have questions and have no problem coming down and answering them. So February, going to be a very fun, exciting month. It's going to be our signature kickoff month. So I guess, let's see, it's already the 26th. So from February 1st until February 8th, when I'm at the PAC conference there, that's going to be our first signature collection competition. So I will have a first prize, a second prize, and a third prize. My first prize is going to be a car decal. The second prize is going to be a car magnet. And the third prize will be your choice of 2 bumper stickers, and I'll give you a refrigerator magnet as well. So get as many signatures as you can between the 1st and 8th. On the 8th, what I'll ask that you do is, take a picture of all the different sheets that you have and message them or text them to me. And I'll go ahead and I'll count them all up, and we'll get a winner and get you guys some free campaign stuff. So that's going to be the first week. And then I'll have some cooler prizes as we go along. Let's see. I've got a few other things to cover. So first, thank you so much, Annie, for setting up our little meeting today over in Jasper, Arkansas. Jasper is full of just such wonderful people. I had a great time, speaking with y'all again and meeting some new faces. We met at the Ozark Cafe. After y'all left, my wife and I, we actually had lunch, and it was so delicious. I'm trying to work on my shape a little bit and lose some weight, but unfortunately I ended up getting like a deep fried burger dipped in buffalo sauce. Oh my God, it was so good. Great food. Anyone ever goes to Jasper on vacation, because it's such a beautiful place and everyone should visit, Ozark Cafe has amazing food. After we met with y'all, Miss Annie, we ate lunch, and then on the way home, we stopped at Steel Creek, and we got to visit the Buffalo River. I found a really cool geode. Oh my gosh, I was looking at rocks, and I actually found a geode. How cool is that? But yeah, we got to see the bluffs, the Buffalo River, and then on our way out, we even got to see the elk. So it was a really awesome day for us. Thank you so much for the invite and getting all that set up. You're super awesome. Let's see what else I have on here. But that's pretty much for my update. I don't have much else to talk about right now. At least anything new we haven't talked about before. Let me see. Oh, I see a question on here, Mr. Brian. Any more ideas on getting information to new people on where to sign petitions? So I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of keep my volunteers, personal information confidential. I'm not sure if y'all mind if I hook you up with, different constituents looking to sign your petitions. One thing I might do, I might create a new tab on my website where I can ask my volunteers if they're okay with me putting their information on there. That way, any constituent can click on that sheet and then it'll have contact info for them. So if I have a volunteer, say in Batesville, and this constituent wants to sign and they live in Batesville, but they don't want me to mail them a sheet, or they can't print a sheet on legal size paper, they can, get the phone number of the Batesville volunteer, meet up and sign that way, or something of the same. I know, Mr. Brian, some people are business owners, and they very graciously offered to let me put binders in their businesses. So if anything, I can make a business list on that tab as well, so someone can see, oh, this local business has petition sheets, so I can go to this business, have some amazing pizza and sign, or something similar like that. So yes, Mr. Brian, I am working on that. I haven't had time. I'm always so busy. But let me make a note here. Let's see, add a tab, volunteer info for signatures. All right. So I will get that done probably after I finish this live stream. Oh, I've still got so many envelopes to get ready to mail out. So thank you, Mr. Brian, for that question. I'll get that taken care of. Let's see what else I've got on here. If there are any other questions. Okay, no other questions yet. So another thing that we did yesterday, I went to the Stop War, anti-war protest in Fayetteville. It was so amazing. I mean, so many people turned up. There must have been hundreds of people walking down this street showing their support. It was wonderful. I got to march with all these great people, and then after our march ended in the Fayetteville Square, they had an area where we could have speakers come up and give their personal accounts. Educate everybody a little bit about what economic sanctions are and how they are warfare. We had speeches we had a veteran from Veterans for Peace come up and speak, and I mean, it was really heartbreaking to hear his story and what he had gone through for our country. And to see that there are so many veterans that really care about peace and care about ending the military-industrial complex was really, really heartening. I mean, it was really cool. Thank you so much. I think his name was Mr. John. Thank you, Mr. John, for speaking. I know it's not easy. Thank you, sir. There were some other great speeches on there. Alyssa Allen, shout out to Alyssa Allen. Wow, you can speak, girl. You did awesome. I mean, your speech was great. I watched it again when I was rewatching the live stream, and 2 thumbs up. That was great. You're going to be such an amazing political activist. I can't wait to see your career grow. Hi, honey. Gotta join me here. So, yeah, the anti-war protest. Very cool. So, I won't even get into anti-war protests right now. The main thing is we need to end American imperialism. We have over 800, I believe like 861 military bases in foreign countries. 861. It is amazing how many different countries have allowed us to put our military bases inside of them. We spend $3 billion every single day on war. And this money that we're spending on war, it's not going to our soldiers. It's not going to infrastructure. It's not helping America in any way. A majority of this money is going to defense contractors, to companies that are owned by ex-legislators, owned by the Koch brothers, Boeing, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin. They're funneling our tax dollars from our social programs that benefit us as a society into these military contractors' pockets. And enough is enough. It has to stop. And that's why we're at war. Why have we been at war for 293 out of like the last 300 years? Because it's all about money. And we need to start putting people above profits and end America's imperialism. You okay? Yeah, you can see us. Let's see here. The next thing I wanted to cover... the next thing that I wanted to cover, there's not a whole lot more to cover. I love you. Let me finish, please. I'm almost done. So we're all watching the impeachment with great interest right now. We want to see what's going to happen. We want to know the facts. We want to know the truth. And we want to see our representatives uphold their oaths that they've taken. The gentleman, Senator Tom, has already broken those oaths. He could not keep those oaths for a couple of days. He took an oath to follow the Senate rules, and these Senate rules very clearly stated no electronic devices on the Senate floor. They have a designated area, a locked area, secured area for people's phones because they do not want electronic devices on the floor. First day, he gets caught with an electronic device. The second day, he gets caught with his cell phone. I mean, it's just, how can you make an oath that important and just break it? If he can break an oath that easy, something that a child could follow, what other oaths is he breaking behind our backs that we don't even know about? Another oath he broke, he took an oath to stay on the Senate floor the entire time the trial was in procession. He left the Senate floor while a person was speaking, and we know he left the Senate floor because he did a news interview with timestamps showing he was off the Senate floor at this time. So that, he broke his oath multiple times. I would like to see something happen with that eventually. It should be, and it's inexcusable for someone in such a high position that we should be looking up to lead us morally and ethically to go against their oath like that. It's not cool. And I mean, of course, we've all seen he's got that fidget spinner. It's not because he's bored.
It's not about him.
I know, but I have to mention it because everybody's talking about it. It's terrible.
It's not about him. It's about the signature.
Okay, let's see. So all of that's covered. I guess I'm pretty much done with everything I had to cover. That's why I was just on cotton rant.
Soon, because the internet, you'll keep on and off.
Oh, am I? The internet's not working good right now. Okay. I don't really see any more questions on here. For any newcomers who have hopped on who haven't really seen, who want to know a little bit more about who I am, I did want to go really quick through some of the things on my platform. The first thing to go through is Medicare for All. I'm the only candidate running in Arkansas that supports Medicare for All. Medicare for All is super important. It is not snake oil. It's not socialism. It's not free. It does cost money. It is real, and it's going to save Americans so much money. Medicare for All is the answer to our problems. Medicare for All is going to save all working class Americans so much money. My wife and I, last year, we spent 18% of our income on medical. 18% of our income went to our health insurance and to doctors. We're healthy people. We're not sick or anything. That's just the way the healthcare system in America works. It is a straight profit over people platform, and we need to change that. The Medicare for All will cost money. It will cost you 4% of your income on average. The average Arkansas household income is $40,000 per year. If your household income is $40,000 per year, you will pay $440 per year to have everyone in your house insured. No deductibles, premiums, co-pays, or prescription drug costs. How can you not get on board with that? The only people that aren't on board with Medicare for All just don't understand what it is because they're listening to the misinformation that the health insurance and the pharmaceutical companies are spending billions of dollars to discredit with. They don't want Medicare for All to pass because it will finally put people over profits. So I do support Medicare for All. I'm very passionate about it. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America is medical debt, and 70% of Americans that file bankruptcy for medical debt have health insurance. There's something wrong, and we have to fix it. We have to try Medicare for All. If it doesn't work, then we try it for 2 years, and we go back to the broken system we have. What's the harm? Can it be any worse than what we're doing now? Absolutely not. We have to try it. We have to... every single modernized nation in the world except for us has universal, single-payer healthcare. Every single one of them, and not one of them have ever gone back on it because it works. So Medicare for All, super important to me, and that's, the top of my platform. Another thing I really support is eliminating student debt. In 2008, when the banking financial crisis and collapse happened, we had bankers predatorily, our bankers stole millions of Americans' houses. That's what it comes down to. They stole Americans' houses. Millions of people lost their homes. So bankers could make billions. And it was wrong, and not a single one of these bankers who broke the law to steal our property went to prison for it. Not one. If anything, they may have got laid off with fat severance packages. It is disgusting and insane. And you know what we did in response? We gave them $16.8 trillion tax dollars. $16.8 trillion is what we rewarded them with for stealing our homes. I think it's time they pay us back. Our student debt in America accounts for $1.6 trillion. They would not lose a penny if they eliminated that debt. All they would have to do is click a button on the keyboard, erase that debt, and we would be able to lift this heavy burden that is holding so many Americans back, both financially and emotionally. We need to eliminate student debt. On top of eliminating student debt, we need to make sure that every child in America has the opportunity to go to college. We need tuition-free college. It's not free. Someone's going to pay for it. You know who's going to pay for it? Wall Street's going to pay for it. Currently, Wall Street speculation is untaxed. It's an untaxed investment opportunity. We are going to add a 1% tax, and that's going to pay for every child in America to go to school. We have to make sure that we are, getting the option and opportunity of a higher education available to all Americans. Right now, our K to 12, it's all publicly funded. It's free tuition. But as soon as you talk about getting someone into higher education, when we can get to a higher level of thinking and understanding and specialization for what we do, it becomes unacceptable. There's no reason. I support free college tuition for 2-year universities. And then that's where I'm a little bit different than like 4-year university free tuition. I think that, of course, the Republicans and the conservatives aren't going to agree with the liberals and Democrats. We're going to have to mediate and find a middle ground. I think a 2-year university or 2-year college tuition cost free to the student is the way to start. And if you maintain a GPA of a 3.0 or higher, then you can continue at no cost to your bachelor's degree. That's going to make sure that people that are taking advantage of this amazing program want to be there, they want to learn, and they want to take what they're learning and put it back into society. We need to train our students so that they can put back into our society, because that's how our society grows and matures and advances to new technology. We have to focus on that. Education is very important. On top of that, we need to make sure that pre-K is available to working class families. Right now, the people who get hit the hardest for preschool are working class families. My daughter, she's 6 years old. We went through this 2 years ago, well, 3 and 2 years ago. And the problem is we were paying $135 a week for her to go to preschool. She happened to be in a fairly decent preschool. They were teaching her to read, or not to read, but to write numbers, letters, and all these different things. But not all preschools offer that. We need to make sure that our pre-K is not just babysitting our children, but they're educating our children. We need to make sure that our children are able to go to pre-K at no cost to working families. If you have a job and your spouse has a job, you should be able to qualify for maybe a tax incentive or a voucher where your child can go to pre-K for free. But yeah, I can go more into detail on that with my platform. So I am pro-life, but I'm still pro-choice. Having an abortion for a specific reason, especially if it's a terminal illness, is not killing babies. I understand someone called me a baby killer earlier because I believe that there should be a choice. That's not the way it works. That's an old way of thinking, and that's why we've had this debate going on for 50 years, because we've got just back and forth, baby killer, not baby killer, pro-life, pro-choice. That's not how we solve the problem. That's just the problem. We need to look at the cause of the problem. We need to look at why people are having abortions. Number one, if someone has an abortion for a medical reason, it is absolutely their right. If they are told that their baby cannot live no matter what, they should have a choice to terminate that pregnancy and not keep it, or to keep the pregnancy and let the baby be born and die on its own. But that is a parent's choice to make, not the government's choice. What we need to focus on is sex education. We have to make sure that young adults, that teenagers, we're not just telling them don't have sex. What happens when you tell kids don't have sex? They're probably going to go off and have sex. We're all kids. That's just the way it is. It feels good. It's fun. It's exciting. It's adventurous. It's still going to happen. So we need to make sure that when it happens, people are educated. They know about their body. They know about the safety, how to be safe. They know about the dangers, how to protect themselves, protect their partner. We have to have sexual education in America. I'm a college student. Not a lot, but some of my classmates are still in high school. We've talked in classes. We've had discussions. Right now, sex education in Arkansas is don't have sex. That's it. They don't learn about their bodies. They don't learn about disease. They don't learn about anything that's important to know as a young adult experimenting in adventure, looking for the adventure in this new found aspect of your body. We've got to make sure that children have sex education. Very, very important. The other thing we need to make sure is that every single American under the age of 21 has access to free contraception. If we educate our children and provide them contraception, there won't be an abortion dilemma. There won't be a debate. There won't be a pro-life, pro-choice, because the rate of abortions will drop to the point where people aren't having mistakes and unwanted pregnancies and getting them aborted. Focus on the cause of the problem, not the problem. Otherwise, you end with 50-year debates. Very simple stuff. Let's see. Covered that, and that. Campaign finance reform. So, we are undergoing a political revolution. It is happening. The movement's here. We're living through it. We're experiencing it right now. And there are ways that you can see this. Look at just in 2018, 91% of candidates that had more campaign funds got elected. 91% of the time, if you had money, you were going to get elected. Didn't matter what you stood for. If you had money, you got elected. That's how Alabama ended up with a governor who's basically a KKK Klan member showing pictures of, minorities' faces burning in fires, got elected. He had more money. Right now, that has started to change. 86% of candidates with more money get elected now. It's ridiculous, but that's 5%. That's a 5% swing in 1 year. It's amazing. If we could do that for the next 10 years in a row, we're looking at, 50%. If we can get to the point where the candidate with more money doesn't mean that they're going to win, and we can start putting candidates in office that are going into office because they deserve to be there, because they're good people, they have good morals, they have good ethics, and they're the type of representative that's going to represent their constituents, that's what we need. And the first way we get there is campaign finance reform. Corporations are not people. They are not. Unlimited campaign contributions are not freedom of speech. That's called bribery. That's all it is. It's bribery. Legalized bribery. We have to stop this. We saw this with our very own representative. In 2014, the gentleman I'm running against, Senator Cotton, took $8.4 million from the Koch brothers. $8.4 million. Why would this giant wealthy family from a different state give some, candidate in Arkansas $8.5 million to run? Because he later voted to repeal the estate tax, which in August saved that family $25 billion. $25 billion evaded in taxes that would have come back to our community, to our society, to programs that helped us. And it was all avoided because the Koch brothers were able to bribe enough senators to get that legislation passed. In 2018, just in 2018 alone, the Koch brothers spent $400 million on the elections. $400 million on one election. Why? To make sure that they would save $25 billion last year. How crazy is that? That is legalized bribery, that is corruption, and we need to put an end to that. We've got to get campaign finance reform. We have to. We can't afford to continue down the oligopoly, the oligarchy, the pay-to-play. Our legislative branch is owned by billionaires and corporations. That's not the kind of government that our founding fathers wanted. That's not the kind of government that represents us, the people. Our government is supposed to be by the people, for the people, and we can't have that when we have outside influence purchasing our representatives. Look at Tom Cotton. 67% of children born in Arkansas are covered by Medicaid. 67% of the kids in our state are covered by Medicaid, yet our representatives, all 6 of these congressmen, are voting to cut Medicaid every chance they get, they vote to cut it. How is that representing one of the poorest states in the country? It doesn't make sense. And we've got to start getting representatives in there that make sense, because we can't afford to do this any longer. Because then you get down to climate change. Tom Cotton is taking money from the fossil fuel industry, from natural gas. Look at our new, what did he call it? A clean burning coal power plant, because that's a real thing. But he's taking money from the company that built it, the company that runs it. We have to get these corrupt senators and congressmen out of our legislative system. If we don't, we're not going to have a voice in the legislative. Our historic flooding, our historic storms, we have to focus on the climate crisis. because now we have another thing we have to focus on at the same time: climate refugees. As the climate crisis is worsening, we have these people, these refugees. We're going to have to house them. We're going to have to feed them. We're going to have to take care of them. I'm running out of time. I'm sorry, my battery's dying. Okay, the last thing I'll cover right now, I have a huge platform. There's so many different problems, and I'm going to make sure we take care of all of them. The federal decriminalization of cannabis, including nationally expunging possession and paraphernalia charges. We just authorized $169 million to go to a new private prison to house 500 people. $169 million of our dollars are going to go towards housing 500 people. That money is going to a private prison, straight into their pockets, and that is unacceptable. If we were to just expunge possession and paraphernalia charges, that would clear more than 500 cells of non-violent victimless crime offenders, and that would save us $169 million. We have to federally decriminalize and nationally expunge possession and paraphernalia charges. It has to be done. And I can go on and on about that. I can go on about all this stuff. I'm just so passionate. There's so much going on right now. Quick summary and overview. Signature collection begins February 1st, this Saturday. If you need any signature collection petition papers, send me a message, a text, an email. Let me know. I can get them mailed out to you. Even if you just want to sign it for yourself, have your friends and family sign, and mail it back to my P.O. box, anything is appreciated. If you have the opportunity and availability to print on legal size paper, if you can do it at your house or go to the library or FedEx Kinko's, you can go to replacetomcotton.com, click the signature collection tab, and there's a PDF file you can download and print from there. And just download it, print it, sign, have your friends and family sign, make sure they're registered voters, and mail it back to my P.O. box. But yeah, so we start Saturday. Everything's looking really exciting right now. We're polling really high. The last poll I saw, 30 points above Cotton. He's so unpopular right now because of his lack of caring and understanding for his constituents and his want to push us into war. I didn't even get to talk about the trade tariffs, the USMCA. There's so many different things to talk about, and I don't want my phone to die and not get this video uploaded. But let me check real quick if there's any questions. Do you hear about preparations by the CDC or other federal agencies to prepare for the possibility of the coronavirus from Asia landing here in the U.S.? I believe we already have 2 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the U.S. We just got to wait and see exactly what's going to happen. I'm really not in any position to know exactly what's going on. But it's definitely something we need to keep an eye on. Just very simple things. Keep your family safe. Anytime you go out, when you come home, wash your hands. Don't touch your face and eyes while you're out somewhere, especially if you're opening doors. Just common sense, smart stuff. The best bet is, though, as soon as you get home from any public area, wash your hands and never touch your face if you can. But my name is Dan Whitfield. I'm an independent candidate running for United States Senate to replace Tom Cotton. My website is replacetomcotton.com. Super easy to remember. You can go on there. You can see my direct democracy, my true representation platform. Help me get elected, and I will give you a voice in the legislative process. And not only will I give you a voice, I will make it roar. I will make us heard, and I will do everything in my power to take us from one of the poorest states in America to one of the wealthiest states of America. But my name's Dan Whitfield. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I will try to do my other live stream either next Saturday or next Sunday night. God bless y'all, and God bless America.